How you doing, YouTube? In this video today, what I'm going to be talking about is one of the cars that I just finished painting or putting vinyls on. Not my suicide car that I just did. I'll show you that one right quick. I just posted this one. Once I do cars, I usually will put them on Twitter. There's my FedEx car. Um, and this is one of the first cars I did there. I used to live in Germany. I lived in Germany almost 10 years, and I loved it there. So I do a lot of cars with German influence. That's my FedEx car, in case you've never seen that one. I only apply vinyls to cars if I get some type of inspiration. I know that sounds kind of kooky, but it's just how I am. I can't just all of a sudden just pick up and do one. I have to like feel it. Um, the other one here, I'll show you this one I did yesterday with the Joker hair. I couldn't this spot right here. I couldn't really get that right, and also get it to lay over the hood like I want it to, like that. You see those two pieces that are laying over the hood? I'll go in so you can see it a little better. There's two strands, one over the S, one over the U. I couldn't get them to lay like that and get this to be cleaner. I wish I could have, so I had to sacrifice one for the other. But you can see how I got the hair to lay over the side of the car, excuse me, and get all these are, typically what I go for when I do signs like this is the optical illusion, because when you initially look at it, you're not going to sit here and, unless you're trying to do the car, like you can see how the D looks broken. You can see how both S's look broken just like it does in the real sign in the face on the Q. And I just use stripes to put the highlights in some of the letters, and I use red to push the black letters off. And so what I try to do anytime I do signs is if I can't get it exact, I go for the optical illusion. Um, so what I wanted to go over today, I'm going to make a quick video on how to do the Sunoco sign. The Sunoco sign is it's on a Porsche that I did. Let me go over here to Elite. And I had to put, the reason I don't do the video as I'm doing the applying the layers is because the video would probably end up being 2 hours long. That's my Texas Porsche. And it just wouldn't make sense for me to do a video that long, because when I first get ready to do this, I I say, oh man, Jimmie Johnson just won NASCAR, and there's my inspiration. So this Lowe sign, that's really easy. Just two. What it is a rectangle, 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 triangle, layered, and then you put the letters in. And I decided to use a small shape to make that blocky comma that they use for the Lowe sign. If you notice on Lowe's, they have a blocky comma. So let's go through these layers. Um, Obviously, the letters are self-explanatory. We're gonna go through the layers for the actual um, arrow first, and then the sign. Um, so this is how I set up the arrow. I laid down the blue, and the reason that's there is because you notice you have to cut into the red, and it had to be right there. so that it was on top of, and here I start coming in, blocking off, and then I cut into the red and cut into the blue, and then I cut into both of them. And the reason I off colored them is to make sure that you could see that border blue. So I couldn't get it perfect, so I went with the optical illusion, because you can see, um, if we scroll in, it's not exactly shape perfect, but because it's red and blue and whatnot, and I left a little, it messes with the eye when you're away from it, and it looks perfect. And sometimes that's what you got to go for, especially like me. My hands shake a little bit. You see that? And then you see how the triangle is back here? The way I got rid of that extra triangle that I didn't need, bam, I cut it off with a white block. I'll show you where that white block is. It's right there. So you see the job that it's doing. And I just made it the same color as the car. And that's how I made the back of the arrow. And this arrow is there as well. That was an extra one that I had to have in there to make sure to clean it up. All right, so then I started with the, once I got that done, then I had to, I needed this because even though it's behind, most of it is behind the sign, I had to have some red be at the top of the sign, because you see here, right there, I don't want to move that and mess it up, but let me go ahead and show you. Like if you look here, right over the U, there's some red from the arrow showing. So you see that? I could have done a better job with the top blue border. The bottom blue border is bigger, but it's okay. And then keep going. I extended it down to the top of the pointy part of the arrow, and then I finished it off right there where that is, so you can see it's right there. And that's the red I decided to go with because it was cleaner. This red too dark, this red too light. This red was perfect. Okay. The difficulty in doing this sign was the yellow and blue shape here. This was hard because I had to keep moving it around to give it the illusion of being straight across. It may not be perfect. So I laid this blue down first over top of the arrow, and then I laid this yellow down over top of the blue, and then I came in, I laid that rectangle, then I laid that rectangle, and then I laid this yellow down right there over top of that one to start the lines, okay? And I laid this one down to start those lines. You see those two lines? One over top, one on the bottom. And then I came in and started cleaning it up. So you see that this helped me clean up the edges. And I cleaned up the edges over here, cleaned up the edges over there. You can see how they're laid down because the letters help you see them. And I cleaned up right there. And then it's all lettering from there. Sunoco, race, fuels. You see that? And then there, like I tell you, is the Lowe sign. And then triangle. And then Lowe's. 84, and there's the comma. I mean, and it was just that simple, but here's the thing. When I say it was just that simple, what I mean is after I worked it all out, because I work out this problem simply as I'm doing it, and I keep trying different things, until I get it as best as I can and as close as I can, because at the end of the day, whoever runs into this car during a race it's going to be, their eyes are going to trick them into believing this sign is perfect, and it'll be more of, oh wow, look at that, Jimmie Johnson 48 with a with a Sunoco sign on the hood, and they're not going to be looking for the imperfections if they stop the race to take a photo or something like that. And that's my hope, that somebody comes across some of the cars I've done. So that's all I have for you. I just want to show you that in case you want to make the Sunoco sign, if you can put it on your NASCARs or some of your other cars. So that's all I have for you. And have a nice day. Keep racing.